Brandon Michael Vera is a Filipino-American mixed martial artist currently signed with ONE FC. A professional competitor since 2002, he has formerly competed for the UFC and the WEC. Vera is the former WEC 13 Heavyweight Grand Prix Champion. Background: Vera is the son of a Filipino father, Ernesto, and his Filipino stepmother, Amelia. His birth mother is Italian-American and was not involved in most of his upbringing. Vera grew up in a family with 3 brothers and 1 sister. He also has 2 other brothers and another sister outside of the family in which he was raised, and they were occasionally involved in his life. Vera was born and raised in Norfolk, Virginia, and attended Lake Taylor High School, where he excelled in wrestling and earned a 4-year athletics scholarship to Old Dominion University. However, he dropped out of Old Dominion after a year and a half when he felt college was not for him, and enlisted himself in the United States Air Force. In the Air Force, Vera joined the wrestling team and trained at the United States Olympic Training Center in Colorado Springs, Colorado. His military wrestling career was cut short in 1999 when he tore ligaments in his right elbow. Arthroscopic surgery repaired the ligaments, but he had nerve damage from the experience, causing him to be unable to use his right arm. He was released from the Air Force on a medical discharge. Vera returned to Virginia, where he steadily rehabilitated his arm, and eventually was fit enough to enter the Grappler's Quest submission wrestling competitions on the East Coast. There, his solitary training methods caught the attention of Lloyd Irvine, a Brazilian jiu-jitsu black belt and coach, who invited him to train with his school. At Irvine's school, he was introduced to mixed martial arts. He also trained with LINXX Academy, and Hybrid Academy. Mixed martial arts career. Early career. Vera's first professional mixed martial arts bout was on July 6, 2002, while training under Lloyd Irvine. He won the fight against Adam Rivera via TKO in the first round. He fought and won another bout in 2004 before entering the WEC 13 heavyweight tournament in 2005, where he won 2 bouts in one night, including a bout against The Ultimate Fighter 2's Mike Whitehead in the final. Vera then moved to San Diego, California, on December 31, 2003, to accept a training position with City Boxing. At City Boxing, Vera excelled as a trainer and was taken under the wing of owner Mark Dion, who became his manager and introduced him to kickboxing great Rob Cameron. With Vera's success as a trainer and a mixed martial arts fighter, Dion gave Vera partial ownership of City Boxing. Ultimate Fighting Championship. Vera made his UFC debut at Ultimate Fight Night 2 on October 3, 2005, against BJJ black belt Fabiano Sherina. Vera won the fight via KO due to knees from the clinch midway through the second round. Following the Sherina bout, he faced Justin Eilers at UFC 57, winning early in the first round by KO. At UFC 60, Vera defeated Ashwario Silva with a guillotine choke in the first round. On November 18, he stopped former heavyweight champion Frank Mir by TKO due to strikes in just 69 seconds at UFC 65 in Sacramento, California. White had been telling the media prior to UFC 65 that the winner of the Vera-Mir fight would face the winner of the Tim Sylvia-Jeff Monson bout, which was also being held that same night, for the championship. Vera's victory secured him a championship bout against then title holder Tim Sylvia, but a contract dispute with the UFC forced him to be replaced by Randy Couture. In August, the UFC announced the return of Vera. His first fight was at UFC 77 against Sylvia, who had recently lost the UFC Heavyweight Championship to Couture. Vera lost for the first time via unanimous decision. He also broke his left hand at 4:40 of the first round. Vera had his second loss at UFC 85 against Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu specialist Fabricio Werdum via TKO. The fight was controversially stopped by referee Dan Maragliota as Werdum mounted him and landed some ground and pound. After the stoppage, Vera was upset as he felt he was defending himself effectively. After his 2 recent losses, Vera dropped down to the light heavyweight division, facing IFL Alam Rees Andy at UFC Fight Night 14 on July 19, 2008, On Spike TV. Vera defeated Andy via unanimous decision. At UFC 89, Vera lost to Keith Jardine via a narrow split decision. Following the fight, Vera incurred criticism for his performance since his return to the UFC, having been victorious in only one of his last 4 fights. A more focused Vera appeared on the preliminary card of UFC 96. It was the first time Vera was not on the main card since he made his debut in the UFC. He had an impressive performance against Mike Pat, showing a more aggressive and intense striking approach and stopping him via TKO in the second round. Vera fought Polish fighter Krzysztof Sosnowski at UFC 102 after his original opponent, Matt Hamiel, was forced to drop out due after suffering a meniscus tear while training. Vera won via unanimous decision. Vera lost a close fight to Randy Couture via unanimous decision on November 14, 2009 at UFC 105, with the media comparing the decision to a previous UFC event, which prompted that MMA judging should be changed. Despite Vera significantly outstriking Couture and successfully defending numerous takedown attempts, judges awarded the victory to Couture. The verdict surprised many people. UFC commentator Joe Rogan was highly critical of the decision during the live event broadcast, and in a post-fight interview, Randy Couture admitted that he didn't expect the decision to be made in his favor. Vera faced John Jones on March 21, 2010, at UFC Live, Vera vs. Jones, and lost via TKO in the first round after an elbow from Jones broke Vera's face in 3 places. Vera was defeated by Brazilian Thiago Silva via unanimous decision on January 1, 2011 at UFC 125. At the end of the third round, Vera stood up to reveal a badly broken nose. Vera was released by the UFC with a 7-6 record in the organization. However, following the fight, it was revealed that his opponent Thiago Silva had failed the post-fight drug test. As a result of this, Vera was rehired by the UFC, and the result of the Silva fight was changed to a no contest, resulting in Vera's UFC record changing to 7-5-0-0-1. Vera defeated Elliot Marshall on October 29, 2011 at UFC 137 via unanimous decision. Vera was briefly linked to a rematch Thiago Silva on May 15, 2012 at UFC on Fuel TV, Korean Zombie vs. Poirier. However, Vera was forced out the bout with an injury. Vera was expected to face Australian James T. Huna on July 11, 2012 at UFC on Fuel TV, Munoz vs. Sweetman. However, Vera was pulled from the bout with T. Huna to face Morikawa Rua on August 4, 2012 at UFC on Fox, Shogun vs. Vera. Vera was defeated via TKO late in the 4th round. Vera showed great heart after being rocked early in the second round, but as both fighters showed early signs of fatigue in the late stages of the second round, Vera ultimately succumbed to Rua's power. This fight is widely considered the best performance of Vera's career, despite the loss. Vera returned to the heavyweight division after an absence of 5 years and faced Ben Rothwell at UFC 164 on August 31, 2013. After a competitive first and second round, Rothwell defeated Vera by TKO in the third round. Subsequent to the bout, Rothwell tested positive for elevated testosterone levels. The UFC suspended Rothwell for 9 months, despite the Wisconsin Commission only issuing him with an administrative warning. Vera was released from the UFC on June 17, 2014, ending his 8-year run with the promotion. =1 Championship On July 13, 2014, it was confirmed that Vera had signed with Singapore-based promotion 1 FC. His debut was on December 5, 2014 against Iga Sabora at One Fighting Championship, Warriors Way. Vera won the fight via knockout after landing a counter straight left at 3:54 minutes in the first round. Personal life: Vera's wife, Kerry, is also a mixed martial artist who formerly fought for the now-defunct Strikeforce. She was featured on the second season of Oxygen's Fight Girls. Vera has a tattoo on his back, inked in the Filipino writing system called Babain. Clockwise, it reads Mundu, Hangin, Apoy and Tubig. While staying in the Philippines, he trained Filipino actor, Richard Gutierrez, in martial arts and has been given a role as an assassin for Philippine primetime television show, Kamandag on the GMA network. In the latter part of his training for UFC 89, Vera was reportedly held at gunpoint by two men attempting to rob the house in which he was staying. Vera stated that the incident did not affect his performance against Keith Jardine. He featured on November issue of FHM Philippines Man Test Challenge. Accomplishments Kickboxing World Kickboxing Association, WKA Super Heavyweight Champion. Grappling Grappler's Quest, 8-time Grappler's Quest Champion in BJJ. Mixed Martial Arts World Extreme Canoeing, 2005 WEC Heavyweight Grand Prix Champion. Mixed Martial Arts Record. References. External links, official Brandon Vera website, professional MMA record for Brandon Vera from Sherdog, Alliance Training Center, Brandon Vera fight results, official UFC profile.